So it appears that y'all really like options and solutions and things that can help you grow your money and survive BG Wealth Sharing. Because at the end of the day, when you join BG Wealth Sharing, you join because you wanted to multiply, grow your money, and do it somewhat passively. So this is another one that I want to put on your radar so that way you can, choose whether you want to do this or not. And it's pretty significant on what it allows you to do. It's another copy trading platform. It has auto regulations and registrations. I'll show that on the inside. I haven't done it myself, but I had to share it with you because I want you to have options and solutions in real time, even if you tap into it before I do, after I've done enough to say, okay, this is worthy of sharing with them. I don't want to share anything that doesn't have any validity. That said, this was also shared with me by June Collier, the gentleman who shared the last one that I, showed that I think has some power to it as well. But this copy trading allows you to copy the trades of some top influencers, but get this, also some politicians. Now, there are certain apps and websites that people can go to see what politicians are trading, but this allows you to copy politicians according to something that they said on their site. That's pretty significant. Why? Because politicians a lot of times play a part in moving the market. So a lot of politicians, people understand that, okay, they know what's coming down the pipeline. They know what's about to happen before it happens. So if you see them buying certain things, it's just a matter of time before that thing becomes profitable. It may take some time, and it's still not a guarantee, but the people who are controlling the markets, because they can put out a news blurb and it tank the market or cause a stock to rise. In many cases, y'all saying it, y'all know how it go. So the ability to copy certain politicians can be powerful. Now, I'm not sure which politicians, things of that nature, but just the concept of understanding that they can move the market and they have some inside information may be relevant to you and your trading style. A lot of people like to copy and quote or pay attention to what Nancy Pelosi is doing, because Nancy Pelosi was, has multiplied her money, her and her husband, yada, yada, the things. Maybe you do, maybe you don't, but it gives you the ability to do that. And why not? If you can copy their trades, knowing that they are, putting millions in here or had the ability to move the market, might be a good idea. So I'm going to share this with you, and y'all let me know what you think. You may already know about it. If so, you let me know your thoughts or insight on it down below. But let's get into it.
Retail investing has been exploding in recent years, and new data shows more Americans are starting to invest at even younger ages. Get this. According to Charles Schwab, custodial accounts for teens ages 13 to 19 years old have jumped since 2019. My next guest just debuted a new app to help capture some of those younger investors. It's called Dub, and it's the first ever copy trading platform. It lets you replicate the portfolios of famed hedge funds, politicians, and we know how well they trade, and even top social media influencers in just one tap. Dub just raised $17 million in funding and has the backing of major players like Uber's CEO Dara Khosrowshahi, Robinhood's co-founder Nathan Rodland, Andreessen Horowitz general partner Alex Rampell, and CNBC contributor and risk reversal CEO Dan Nathan, among a long list of others. VC investor and CEO of Tusk Venture Partners, Bradley Tusk, was the first to invest. Joining me now is founder and CEO Stephen Wang. Stephen, thank you so much for being here. Explain how this new app Dub works, because there's a social element to this investing that you're doing with your customers, which I think is really interesting.
Aben, first, thank you for having me tonight. It's an honor to be here. And it's actually very simple. So with copy trading, basically, you can either copy someone else's trades automatically, or you can be the person that gets copied. Essentially, how a portfolio works when you copy it, it's very similar to an ETF. It's a basket of stocks. If you copy that portfolio and someone's trading that portfolio, you get all their trades automatically. And this is really based on this incredible trend in retail investing, like you just mentioned, that we've witnessed over the past 10 years. Because of the rise of social media, because of the rise of commission-free investing with Robinhood, the way that we deployed capital is no longer seen by a bunch of screens. It's really following influential people and ideas. But we've seen how dangerous that can be over the past couple of years. We've saw crypto, meme stocks with GameStop, Cathie Wood even being down by 60% in 2022.
Yeah.
There needs to be more transparency in the system and this new consumer behavior of copying others. And that's really what we built.
So users looking at your app on the phone, they can just tap and say, hey, I like what Cathie Wood is doing. I'm going to follow her. And then what happens next?
It's a simple single tap. The same way you invest $10 in Tesla, you can take $10 to copy Kathy Wood, Eamon Javers, or anyone that's
Don't
on
do
the
that
platform.
one. That one's not going to get you any money.
Oh, maybe?
Yeah.
Who knows?
So here's my question about this, because there is this social element to it, but the data stream that you're using is based on public disclosures of these people's investments, right? And those public disclosures lag, right? So you're going back months in terms of what the investments were. If I want to follow what Kathy Wood's investments are, I don't want to follow what Kathy Wood was doing in December. I want to know what she was doing today on Thursday. And you can't mirror that with the publicly disclosed data. So how do you work around that?
That's actually the beauty of the platform. It's almost like eBay for investing. We don't want to actually control what portfolios are made on the platform. Anyone can make a portfolio. So today we do have, and we've curated an all-star list of investors, like former hedge fund and current hedge fund managers that place like Millennium Management, or these top social media influencers on X that have hundreds of thousands of followers that are known for their investing skills, and they create these portfolios. So for someone that made a portfolio that's copying maybe Kathy Wood or Nancy Pelosi, they're trading at their own discretion. So it may be following some of these filings, but then they're taking their skill to copy them.
So there's an additive piece that you have to add. You can't just copy somebody and write it.
Exactly, and that's where you're trusting this person that is an investing sort of person and personality that you're following. And that's the beauty of sort of really where we want to take this, right? We want to bring trust and transparency back into the system, and we've done this by curating a great all-star set of investors to start. But down the line, the kid in his mom's garage that's really good at investing could become the next all-star. And we believe 10 years from now, people will no longer be picking stocks, so they should be picking people to copy.
We've got almost no time left. I hate to do this, but give me your whole bio in 10 seconds. You dropped out of Harvard recently to do this, right?
And I dropped out of high school to sell my first company. I worked for Apple for a little bit, and I dropped out of Harvard again to start my second company. And this is it. I think we're at the precipice of a new paradigm and a new movement, and we're creating something that's phenomenal. To all the Robinhood, TD, Schwab investors that are out there that don't know how to navigate these markets today, I ask you, come give Dub a try. Find someone that you can trust with your investments.
All right. So I'm gonna go over the site a little bit, but what do y'all think about that? Let me know down below, because it showed copy paste trade, which is some of the same lingo that was going on with BG West sharing. They talked about some of the politicians. He even mentioned Nancy Pelosi and things of that nature, and people being able to copy their trades. But he said something that I find to be pretty interesting, but possibly on the money. He said that he feels that people are going to go from just trying to find the right stocks and things that they can invest in, and more so finding the right people that they can trust and copy their portfolios, because they know that these people are either known for making good investments, or they know that these people are, they have a track record for success and they're working with a lot of money. And if they're putting a lot of money into these things, then of course they're not trying to lose a lot of money. And then he also mentioned that people can start with a small amount. He mentioned, I think the example he gave was like $10, etc. So that being said, what do y'all think about what was said so far? And I'll get into some of the details of the site, frequently asked questions as well. But hearing him say that we're going in a direction where people are going to be more so copying other people's trades, that actually makes sense to me, because we're now looking at convenience as a real thing. That's why a lot of industries are booming, because of the convenience associated with it. That's why technology is moving how it's moving, AI, and all of the things that it makes available to us. People are not trying to use that mental bandwidth to do certain things like understand, a company's PE ratio and knowing their EBITDA. They don't care about none of that. They want to know, can I make money with this particular investment? Okay, let me put my money there. That's where people are. So I can see the time where people would want to dub a person's portfolio that they trust. So I can actually see that. So that being said, with us being in BG World Sharing, we might be on the front end of something great, but we got to pivot to the right things that give us skill sets, assets, and access. And this is access. So that's where we're going with this. We want to still make sure we position ourselves to be profitable, but do it in a way that's not, questionable, scheming, scamming, none of that. We want to make sure we're heading in the right direction. But let's get into the site, and then we'll wrap it up. All right, so here's the site. Now, the site is dubapp.com. And basically, I like the aesthetics of it. It's pretty clean, the color scheme, etc. And it says start copy trading, real investors. Dub makes investing easy by letting you follow the moves of real investors. Pick a portfolio you like, and your money automatically follows their trades. And then I see right here, it says join crypto waitlist. So it looks like they're about to add crypto to the options of being able to copy. That's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting. That can be, yeah, that to be continued on that. Now let's keep going. They have something about their app that allows you to, it'll pause when you're trying to slide. But anyway, so it's future trades copied your way. Regulated services, built for security, backed by trust. At Dub, we take trust seriously. That's why we use bank-grade security, insure your account, and operate under strict U.S. regulations so you can invest with peace of mind. Top security. Your accounts are secured via AES-grade bank-grade encryption and security. $500,000 SIPC insurance. So it says your accounts are insured up to $500,000 by the Securities Investor Protection Corporation, or SIPC. It's also FINRA and SEC regulated. Dub's family of companies includes a broker-dealer, member FINRA, and a SEC registered investment advisor. Community, 200 plus crowdsourced creators, real investors, real track record. So it's over 200 plus individuals, whether they're politicians or whether they're, just strong traders that are on there. And like he said, you can position yourself to be somebody that other investors copy. Like a person who's just good at investing, they can have people to copy them. Now, I'm not sure what the incentive is, but I'm sure it may be some type of incentive for people who allow you to copy their trades. I'm sure there's probably some incentive in it, so that may be a goal to shoot for. Then it says backed by top investors. Prominent investors from the financial and technology industry have invested in and believe in Dub's mission. I guess those are the names that are down there. Has some other companies that, they've connected with, partnered with, got some validation from, etc. That was the video we already watched. And then here's the Dub's team. If you want to look into them, that was the Steven was the one who was from the news interview we just looked at. Here's some of the other ones. I pause just for a second in case you want to look at them and, see what type of time they're on if you want to look into them. Frequently asked questions. So, what is copy trading? We know, but let's read it anyway. Copy is an innovative feature on Dub that enables you to manually or automatically mirror the actions and updates made by portfolio creators in real time. When you copy a portfolio, you can choose for your investment to rebalance automatically, or you can choose to copy once and sync manually. How do we differ from other investment apps? Unlike traditional investment apps where you select individual stocks yourself, Dub centers around copy trading. We built the only platform that lets U.S. users copy each other's portfolios in a true peer-to-peer ecosystem. With hundreds of portfolios, Dub offers unprecedented diversity of investment strategies, transparent pricing with a single subscription fee, and performance figures based on actual returns, not simulations, like BG seems to be. We're creating a community where investment talent is discovered and everyone can learn and grow together. Is Dub regulated and insured? Dub is owned by two regulated subsidiaries, Dub Financial LLC, an SEC registered broker-dealer and member of FINRA SIPC, and Dub Advisors, an SEC registered investment advisor. And accounts on Dub are SIPC insured, which protects users' cash and securities up to applicable limits in the event of the firm's failure. Please note, the SIPC insurance does not protect against a decline in value of your investments, which I'm sure you can understand that. It's not that. It's just protecting you from, if they go belly up. So that's pretty powerful to know that, okay, the company's looking at it like, okay, business has failed. Let's not assume that we're going to be in business. Let's get backed by insurance up to $500,000, So just keep that in mind. It means that you don't want to let your account get to that level because only $500,000 is going to be insured, which is a significant amount. All right, let's go into the other ones. What does it mean to rebalance? What happens when your creator rebalances a portfolio? When a creator rebalances their portfolio, they're adjusting the stocks or allocation percentages to maintain their investment strategies. If you copy their portfolio, your investments will automatically update to match these changes. During rebalancing, Dub execute a basket trade that ensures both the creator and all of their copiers receive identical execution prices simultaneously. You'll receive a notification when rebalancing occurs and won't be able to make changes to your copy until the process completes, usually just a couple of minutes. That's pretty significant because they said that it ensures that or executes at the same price simultaneously, because price matters when you are investing. Where you get the investment at matters a lot. That's where the money is made, when you buy at the right price. So that's pretty significant that they, consider that. What are the settlement timeframes for trades and withdrawals? Dub follows the standard T+1 settlement cycle for trades, meaning trades settle one business day after execution. When you sell securities, the funds typically settle the next business day and becomes available for new investments immediately. Okay. Recently deposited funds require a 5 business day settlement period before they can be withdrawn to your bank account. And a lot of investment platforms operate like that. So that's not uncommon. National holidays and weekends do not count as business days. Now, the fact they're getting into crypto, that may shift some things because, crypto 24/7. Why can't I withdraw my funds right now? There are several common reasons why withdrawals might be unavailable. Your funds haven't completed the mandatory 5 business day settlement period after deposit, which, we just discussed. 2, you've recently sold investments and the proceeds haven't settled yet, the T+1 feature they mentioned. 3, you're attempting to withdraw to a different bank account than the one used for deposits. Your bank account information needs updating. Fair enough. What stocks and investment types does Dub support? Dub currently supports thousands of U.S. stocks, ETFs, New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ, AMX, all of those. And they offer fractional shares for many securities, allowing you to invest with precision regardless of your investment amount. At this time, we do not support the over-the-counter stocks, pink sheets, options, bonds, futures, cryptocurrencies, and international securities, though many ADRs are available. So they don't at that time, but as you can see, they're getting into crypto, but they're not doing futures or anything like that. But who knows what the future may bring. Who's eligible to open a Dub account? Currently, Dub is available to U.S. citizens with a valid Social Security number, U.S. residential address. Users must be at least 18 years of age to open an account. Military personnel stationed abroad may be eligible with some exceptions. How can I discover portfolios to copy? Sure, that's pretty self-explanatory. You can browse, check the leaderboard. It's a leaderboard, so you can find top performers across different time frames. That's solid. Search function. So yeah, that's self-explanatory. Are the performance metrics on Dub based on actual results? Yes, every performance metric on Dub reflects actual results or actual returns achieved with real money on the platform. Unlike some platforms that show simulated or hypothetical performance, Dub only displays real trading history. The track record shown have been achieved by actual users with real investments. If you had invested alongside the creator at inception, your returns would closely match those displayed in the app, with only minor variations possible due to timing and transaction costs. Makes sense. Lastly, how do I manage my notification preferences on Dub? We don't have to get into that because, until you set up an account, the notification preferences do not matter. But what are your thoughts? Let me know what you think about this. Is this something you're going to consider? Is this something you think is a solid solution? Do you like the idea of being able to copy politicians, who may be participating in this as well? And do you see a future where people are actually not just focused on trying to learn the stocks, the ins and outs of the company's business and balance sheet and all of that, and they're actually copying proven, verified individuals who have a track record? Can you see that being the future? Is that something you can see yourself doing? Is that something you can see being the future for, think long term, your children, things of that nature? I can see that. I didn't think about that, but when he said it, it instantly made sense. Let me know your thoughts below. Mr. Smith signing out. Salute.